And the same to you. And mind what you're doing with that cigar. You've got no lid on that custard. Goodness me, what do you call this? I said nicely brown, not charred to a cinder. Right, who ordered the cheese toasty?
Excuse me, is this the Mood Cafe?
It most certainly is. People in the mood know they'll get good food. That's our new slogan. Our daughter Mandy made it up.
She has a wonderful way with words.
Thank you. It's going to be broadcast on the local radio station today. Our very first commercial.
You must be under the moon.
I am. Well, we all are. Right. Well, there's a cosy little seat.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm meeting someone, actually. You should already be here. Wearing a poppy?
Oh.
I think that might be me.
Right. Well, I'll leave you to it then. I'll be back shortly. I'm Jeannie, by the way.
You're from the Anyone Will Do agency?
Yes, that's right.
You should be wearing a poppy. You had me confused.
Oh, sorry about that. I've obviously got some explaining to do. Please take a seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, would you care for a bite to eat?
Oh, no, I'm trying to touch my finger, thank you.
A cup of tea, a coffee maybe?
Yes, tea would be good.
Well, it's nice to meet you. My name is Richard.
Sandy. It's very unusual the agency not telling us each other's names in advance, don't you think?
Perhaps it's a new security thing, or maybe it's an oversight on their part. They do seem to be very busy.
Yes, they have a lot of lonely people on their books.
Not only us, of course.
So, what can I get you then? I can recommend the gammon and pineapple. I can serve that straight away.
Not for me, thank you.
No me, thank you.
Well, how about something a bit plainer then? Double egg and chips with bread and butter.
Just 2 cups of tea, please.
2 cups of tea. That's fantastic, that is. I'll be able to afford our Mandy's honeymoon to Tenerife after all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I had a really big one, but it fell off.
Sorry?
A poppy.
Oh.
I was rushing to get here on time and it fell off in the street.
I see.
Went down a grid, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
The Mood Cafe.
Even though I'd got a buttonhole, I still lost the flipping thing.
You must have been livid.
Well, disappointed rather than livid. It was only an old artificial one, of course. I bought it when I joined the agency in November.
I bought mine in November too, yes. The year before last.
Well, let's hope yours doesn't end up down the grid.
It probably will, because I don't think these little pins are up to much, do you?
No, they're not. Anyway, after my poppy fell off, I thought I should wear some kind of flowers so that you'd notice me. I saw this clump of dandelions in an old window box.
You must have saved yourself a fortune.
I chose this one because I thought it was a rather nice shade of yellow.
My mother used to have a canary that colour before she got the cat.
Quite attractive, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It contrasts rather well with your jacket. It's quite the perfect fashion accessory.
Oh, thank you. I don't feel such an idiot now.
Right, here we are. 2 cups of tea. Help yourself to the milk and sugar.
Oh, shall I pay you now?
Oh, no, there's no rush. On the way out will do. That phone call just there was from our Mandy. She normally works in the kitchen. She's having a day off to organise things for her wedding. She's out picking wedding rings at this very moment with her intended.
Exciting time then.
A worrying time, more like. My husband Gary's having to do all the cooking. He's not really coping, not like our Mandy does. He's got a problem with his gas, you see. And his equipment, well, that's well past it.
Well, it must be very stressful for him in there.
It's very stressful for me out here. Did you see the state of that cheese toastie I just served? I'll be calling paramedics shortly.
So when's the big day?
Oh, Saturday. Next Saturday. I'm going to have to close the cafe, of course. I don't know how I'm going to make up on the rent money. I've no idea.
So who's the lucky man?
Mandy's ex-fiancé reckons he is. After he dumped her, he reckoned he'd had a lucky escape.
Sounds very ungracious of him.
Well, she hasn't known this other one a very long time. All a bit hasty, in my opinion.
Has she had many boyfriends?
Stacks of them. Do you know what? Absolutely stacks of them. She's very reckless when it comes to romance, you see.
Not particularly choosy.
Not choosy at all, actually. Do you know she's been out dogging that many times? She's got kennel cough.
I'm sure she'll change her ways when she gets married.
I hope so. But like I said, she's only known this one a short time.
Must have been love at first sight.
I doubt it. I've seen better looking dustbins.
Well, let's hope it all ends out okay.
Well, it's the business I'm worried about. I mean, if our Mandy leaves, I don't know where that'll leave us.
I'm sure she won't leave. You're such a dependable source.
Right. Enjoy your tea.
Right. So why don't you tell me something about yourself?
No. After you, Sandy. Ladies first, I think.
I don't mind starting if you insist. But I must warn you, people say I'm a bit of a chatterbox.
That suits me fine. Most people say I'm a good listener.
Well, with ears that large, I can hardly say I'm surprised.
This place is ghastly. Not a tablecloth in sight. And 2 meat pies stuck to the wall.
They seem secure enough.
You can't expect me to eat or drink anything in here, surely.
We haven't got time to find anywhere else. Just head for the train.
Look, the floor is covered in cat hair.
You're imagining things. Come on, let's sit here.
Feeling quite nauseous. The cat's been prowling around in here, I'm sure of it. This place is a health hazard.
down to business. We need to sort our problem before I catch our trains.
You're the only one with a problem, dear brother.
Cheer up, you two. You look like you've been at a funeral.
We have been to a funeral. Our father was buried this morning.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. No offence attended.
He was cremated, actually. Not buried. Mum was buried when she died, but Dad didn't want to be.
So, who's going to keep the ashes then?
We've decided to have them spread at the Garden of Remembrance at the cemetery.
Well, let's hope he likes the company.
Both of us live long distances from here. Neither of us would feel very comfortable carrying an urn on a train for hours.
Oh, what can I get you then?
Maybe just a quick snack. We can't stay too long. Is there anything you can recommend?
Well, actually, I can recommend the gammon and pineapple, and I can serve that straight away.
Gammon. No thanks. Could you do me a cheese toastie?
Well, actually, the toasty maker's not having a good day.
In that case, just a black coffee for me, no sugar.
Black coffee. And for you, madam?
I'll have a black coffee as well, but it has to be decaffeinated. And make sure the water is thoroughly boiled before cooling it to the correct temperature.
I shall stick my elbow in it to test it, shall I, madam?
She's acting above her station, that woman. Damn cheek!
She's just having a little joke with you, that's all.
She was being impertinent, more like. She wouldn't last 2 minutes working at the golf club, that's for sure. I told you there was a cat in here somewhere.
So where is it now?
There, spraying on that electrical wall socket thing. You could start a fire doing that.
Wow, he's a beauty, isn't he?
Hardly a beauty. He's a fat ginger monstrosity.
I quite like cats, you know. I've developed an affinity with them over the years.
Detest the awful creatures.
I'll call him over, shall I?
Don't even think about it.
Here, Tom. Here, boy. Hey. Strange, he's ignoring me.
Thank heaven for that.
I'm a pussy magnet as a rule. They usually come running to me.
A cafe is certainly not the place for a cat to be running around in. I've a good mind to report this place to the authorities.
Why bother doing that? We'll never be in here again.
Even still, it's a disgusting state of affairs.
I've been trying to call your cat over. He's lovely. He's ignoring me though. What does he answer to?
Doesn't answer to anything, old tiger. He's deaf.
Ah, that explains it.
The mice could be clog dancing on the biscuit tin and he wouldn't even know about it.
You have mice?
Oh, only a dozen or so. It's the rats mainly. In the kitchen.
Rats. That's it, Max. I'm not staying here a moment longer.
Sit down, Eleanor. We came here for a purpose, remember?
For goodness sake, let's get on with it.
So, when my emergency parachute wouldn't open, there was only one thing I could do.
Excuse me for interrupting, but would you mind terribly if I trimmed your nasal hair? Because they're making me so nervous.
I'd rather you didn't, not here.
It'll only take a minute, just a couple of snips, please.
Well, no, they might end up in the sugar bowl.
Oh, that's true. Look, why don't I come around your side and I can hold your nose back on the table while I do it?
No, Sandy, please, Sandy! This isn't the time or the place!
Very well, Richard, but please, could you push them up your nostrils as far as you possibly can? Thank you.
So, you were telling me about your brother earlier?
Was I which one?
I think you said he was in London.
Oh, yes, the one that worked for the big national charity, yes. Yes, he was in charge of the fundraising. Oh, he had a real flair for it as well. He raised thousands and thousands of pounds, probably millions.
That's wonderful. So he's held in high regard then?
No, he's held in Brixton Prison.
Oh, Oh, that's bad news.
Yes.
What did you say his name was?
Oscar. The newspapers called him Oscar Swindler, but it was very unfair. It was just a minor bookkeeping error, that was all.
Handling cash like that can be a real downfall.
Yes. I think the fact that he had an unusual name did him no favours whatsoever. The subject of names, yours is rather old-fashioned, wouldn't you say?
Well, I was named after my father, and he was named after his father.
That makes you Richard III.
I'm Richard V, actually.
Oh, and you have a son of your own?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, perhaps when you do, you'll be able to call him Jordan or Charles for a change.
No, I don't think so. I think I'll stick with family tradition.
Brent's a nice small name you may wish to consider.
I'll bear it in mind. How about you? Are you called Sandy for any particular reason?
Oh, my mother said I was conceived under a moonlit sky on a beautiful sandy beach. In Sardinia, if my memory serves her right.
Oh, how romantic.
It was an Italian boy, forced himself upon her. Oh, she tried to fight him off, but she was holding an ice cream cornice at the time.
They can be very persistent, those hot-blooded Italians.
A bunch of brandy Gibbons, that's what they are. One of them scoured up my hotel to my room on the 5th floor.
That's astounding. He must have been a proper little Romeo.
Well, he thought he was, but he fell off the balcony.
You must have got your stunning Mediterranean complexion from your father, I guess.
No, I've got my liver complaint to thank for that.
Oh. Nothing serious, I hope.
No, just a minor inconvenience.
Oh. Well, I must say you're looking particularly well at the moment.
Thank you, Richard, and I'm surprised a man like you registered with an agency. A charming, attractive man like yourself. You've got a certain animal magnetism about you.
You could be right. I often get dogs clamping onto my leg.
That means they like you. They instinctively know who to trust.
I wish I knew who I could trust. I thought I could trust my ex-wife, but she hurt me very badly. And not just the once. My marriage was a terrible mistake.
Everybody makes mistakes, you know that, Richard.
Oh, I won't go into it now. It's all in the past. It's all ancient history.
Oh. I've never seen you so busy, Jeannie.
How are you this fine, miserable day?
Well, I'm not very well. I'll tell you the truth.
Why's that, my love?
Oh, Jack's been rushed into hospital.
Oh, goodness me, is it something critical?
Oh, yes. He's complained about the beds, the nurses and the curtains.
So why did they take him in?
He overdid it in bed last night, if you must know.
You're Jack? You've got to be joking.
Oh, he's still got a tremendous appetite between the sheets, Jeannie.
So what made him ill then?
The daft beggar was eating late in bed again. The doctors reckon he must have rolled over during the night and that's what caused the excruciating pain.
So what are they going to do for the poor chap?
Well, they're giving him a thorough examination and eventually they found a Equus cake lodged in his thermal vest.
Well, I'm relieved that it's nothing serious. So is he back out now?
Not yet. An ambulance will fetch him home sometime this afternoon.
So you'll be dining alone this lunchtime?
No, that's right, yeah.
So what do you fancy?
Maybe a bit of fish, I think. Is your haddock fresh?
Fresh off the trawler this morning.
Right, I'll have it fried with mashed potatoes and peas.
Right, you park yourself on that little table over there, my love. And I'll bring your meal out when it's ready.
Thanks, darling. Oh, there's no need to hurry. I brought me knitting to keep me occupied.
Hey, Quasimodo, stop picking your nose and get some fish out freezer. I'm gonna go and clean the ladies' toilets while I've got chance. All right?
Our own fault. You heard what the solicitor said.
That weasel-faced little creep. He had no business talking to us like that.
He was using Dad's words, not his own.
Daddy would never have called us names like that. Never in 1,000 years.
He was angry and hurt. I can understand why.
Well, I can't. To say that we didn't give a damn about him was ludicrous.
We could have kept in touch more. He thought we'd abandoned him, forgotten it.
I always sent him a Christmas card, didn't I? Sometimes a birthday card. When I remembered.
Hardly impressive. I was no better either. Too wrapped up on my own worries to ask about his. And the sad thing is now we can't make it up to him.
He could have always contacted us, the silly man. He had both our telephone numbers, so it wasn't exactly like we were hiding from him, was it?
There was obviously pride that held him back. He felt it was up to us to contact him, which we didn't. And as his resentment grew...
I'll be contesting that stupid will, of course. Daddy had no right giving everything away and leaving us with virtually nothing.
He probably had every right, unfortunately.
He even gave the house away. Mother would never have allowed it, that's for sure.
How do you know that? Didn't exactly give her much attention either. At least I didn't, not after I left home.
Wages to earn, families to bring up, you up in Scotland, me down in Somerset. It just wasn't possible to visit more regularly, was it?
Maybe once a year would have been enough. Could have managed once a year.
I was helping Gerard build up his business. Half of my life was spent in that office. The other half, I was running around after the twins.
Both in good universities now, I believe.
Yes, they are, thank goodness. It's their turn to climb the ladder now.
Francine's been offered a place in Newcastle, by the way.
All right. For her.
Except we're not sure if we can afford to send her there. In fact, we know we can't.
If that's the case, you've got no one else to blame but yourself. You should have had a decent career instead of wasting your time in stupid furniture stores. No ambition. That's always been your trouble.
No, I can't argue with that. I should have been more adventurous and made something of myself. I know that now.
Gerald made something of himself because, unlike you, he had confidence and determination.
Good old Gerald. Did you ever send out a Father's Day card in the last 20 years or so?
Of course not. I was still a child the last time I did something like that.
I suppose in Dad's eyes, we never really grew up. To him, we were still those selfish, greedy children he eventually despaired of.
You do talk such piffle sometimes.
I think that's why he's given us his test.
What test?
The painting. He's looking down on us right now, wondering if we're going to sort this out like sensible adults or squabble like the spoilt brats he described us as in his will.
Sheltered life, really. Never been married or engaged. A few meaningless relationships, but no, nothing what you'd call special.
Have you been involved with anyone romantically recently?
Well, I've been going out with the local policeman, but it's hardly what you'd call a romance.
So, he hasn't given you a full body search?
No, he hasn't even shown me his truncheon. No, he's quite distant, really. He reminds me of a toilet roll wrapped up in himself, but useful in emergencies.
He sounds a little unusual.
I suppose he is, really, but that's enough about him. I bet you've had one girl after another, Richard.
Far from it. Apart from my wife, I haven't known many women. I've always been too busy with work and various hobbies.
You're the active type, I can tell.
You must have been a model, Sandy. Have you ever been a model, Sandy?
Well, funnily enough, once I entered a beauty competition. Yes, one of those spur-of-the-moment things at a holiday camp, a long time ago.
You must have won it easily, I presume.
No, two of the judges had glaucoma and the other three was sleeping with the winner.
That's holiday camps for you.
I I live with my mother, by the way. How about you?
I share a flat with my sister.
Oh, is she married?
Pauline? No, she's not even ever had a boyfriend.
Oh, she must be so lonely. Maybe you could introduce her to our little agency.
I think I'll wait and see how things go for me first before I start recommending it for others.
Oh, that's the second time the lights have done that. I wonder what's going on.
Janie, did your eyes go funny just then? Mine did.
It's something to do with the electrics. Something to do with condensation.
My concentration's not too good either.
No, oh, never mind. What are you knitting this time?
It's another jumper for my youngest grandson. Look, it's asleep.
Oh, that's nice. How's he getting on at his new school?
Oh, he's doing great. Now he's stopped wearing his sister's clothes. He's in a different class.
That's nice.
And now he's learning to play the harp.
He always was a plucky little fella.
Yes, I'm really proud of him.
It's lovely when they're young like that. Unfortunately, as they get older, they get more complicated.
That's true. My Jack's been bunged up for weeks.
I'm still worrying about Mandy and this wedding. I mean, if she leaves this place, well, I don't think me and Gary could carry on.
It's never been easy for you, has it?
It's been a constant nightmare. I keep praying for a miracle to happen.
One might, you never know.
Mandy's talked us into doing this commercial. Some trial offer, apparently. She's come up with this clever little slogan. I don't know if it'll work or not. We're just hoping for the best, that's all I can say.
So when's this commercial on then?
Oh, today. About 15 minutes. Yeah.
Well, why don't you turn the radio on now? You might miss it otherwise.
Like I said, we've got a problem with the electrics. I'll leave it till a bit later. Don't want to overload the system.
Well, don't forget, will you? I'd love to hear it.
Oh, I won't forget. It's costing a small fortune, is this commercial. Here, you. Come on. Get on with it. I've got people to serve, you know. Don't go on about your griping. You've got meals to make and pots to scrub. God, it's always going on. You wouldn't think we were devoted to each other, would you?
You two don't seem exactly lovey-dovey these days.
No, we're not.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jeannie.
Anyway, none of that. How's those neighbours of yours? Still as noisy as ever?
Oh, they're a bunch of idiots, those three. Screaming and shouting at each other night and day.
Must drive you mad.
It does. And the walls are that thin, we never get a moment's peace. And they argue over the slightest little thing, you know. Yep, take last night, for instance. The husband wrenched open the wardrobe door and his wife fell out with a lodger.
She comes in here sometimes. You know, the woman. She just comes and goes.
What about her gums and nose?
I'm starting to think you need an hearing aid.
Why would I need an earring made?
Oh, for goodness sake. Just carry on with your knitting and I'll bring your fish out in a few minutes.
30,000 for it. And that was 15 years ago.
So would it be worth even more now?
It must be. Great works of art like this go up in value all the time. Investors and collectors go mad for them.
This is supposed to be art. I think it's absolute rubbish.
It's a Lowry original, Eleanor.
What does that mean?
I thought Dad's solicitor explained it to you.
He started to, but I told him not to bother.
It was painted by the great northern artist, L.S. Lowry. Some of his work sold for millions of pounds.
Well, I've never heard of him. He looks positively infantile. How old is he when he did this? No more than 5 or 6, I should imagine.
Lowry's style was childlike, but that's what made it so distinctive. These stick-like figures were his trademark. Simple, primitive and innocent.
In other words, he couldn't paint properly.
He's well-respected and popular, that's all that matters. There's even an entertainment centre named after him in Salford, complete with a gallery displaying his work.
Are you saying he's famous?
Incredibly famous. World famous, I should think.
And you reckon most people have heard of it?
I can't believe you haven't. Have you been living on another planet?
You've got me thinking now, Max. This painting can impress everyone at our next little soiree. I need to hang it in a prominent position in the lounge, of course.
Be sensible, Eleanor. We need to sell it as quickly as possible and split the proceeds between us. You know how short of cash I am. In fact, why don't you let me have it all to myself? You've more than enough money as it is.
I'm not letting you have the picture, Max, nor am I going to sell it. This'll wipe the smile off Brenda Thornton's smug little face. She may have a Rolls Royce, but I've got a world-famous painting.
I suggest we put it up for auction. Contact Sotheby's, perhaps.
We won't be doing that. This is an impressive status symbol from what you're telling me. This could lead to the presidency of the Ladies' Wine Circle, I shouldn't wonder.
Dad left it to both of us, remember? He said we got to decide between us what to do with it. It's got to be a joint decision.
Well, I've decided it's mine, Max. As the oldest child, it's only right and proper that I should inherit the picture.
But I'm short for money now.
Oh, you thought it'd be that easy?
Oh, I knew it wouldn't be. All right, fine. If you want to keep the picture, that's fine. We'll get it valued, and you pay me half of what it's worth.
Oh, my money's tied up in investments, so that's a non-starter. No, I'm taking this painting home with me today, and if it loses its novelty appeal in the future, I'll consider selling it then.
I need the money now. I told you about Francine, but there's other issues as well.
You can whinge all you like, Max, but I'm taking the painting home with me. And I can tell you, it won't be going up for sale for some time yet.
I need the money now. I'll take you the call. I'm going to the washroom.
I can see you're curious.
And I can see peculiar.
You won't ever have seen a masterpiece in the flesh before, I presume.
So what's so special about this? Looks like it was painted by chimpanzees.
This is an L.S. Lowry original, I'll have you know. It's worth an absolute fortune.
Well, I wouldn't give you tuppence for it. I've seen better drawings on our toilet walls.
Some people know nothing about art. Nothing at all.
And why he had so many Labradors, I'll never know.
I like dogs myself, but I'm quite feline in lots of ways. I've been known to scratch on a sofa and stay out all night. I'm only joking, Richard. I've never scratched on a sofa in my life.
You're a very entertaining lady, Sandy. I can never tell when you're joking or not.
Well, it is April the 1st, April Fool's Day.
Surely that was yesterday, wasn't it?
No, it can't be yesterday, because the agency said to meet you on April the 4th, and here you are.
Did you bring your letter with you by chance?
Yes, put it here. See? It says I've got to be here at 11 o'clock on April the 1st.
But you turned up here at 1 o'clock, didn't you?
So I did. I was very late, wasn't I? Please excuse me, I must have misread the letter.
Well, I'm at fault too, Sandy. I'm supposed to be here at 1 o'clock on April the 2nd.
Excuse me, what's the date today?
Oh, April the 1st, love.
And was there a man in here earlier? 11 o'clock, wearing a poppy?
Well, now you come to mention it, there was a quiet chap. He sat in the corner with boxing gloves and a boil on his nose.
That must have been your intended date.
Yes.
You came 2 hours late and I came a day early. Between us, we made a real mess of things.
Yes, so it seems. But this could be a marvellous twist of fate. Now that we've met, we could carry on seeing each other.
I don't think I can trust my own judgment just yet, Sandy. I think I'd rather wait to see who the professionals put forward for me. After all, they know best.
Yes, I suppose they do. Well, I'll have to contact them now and make my excuses. What will you do?
Well, I'll turn up again tomorrow. Same time, same place. And the other lady will never know that I got my days mixed up. Unless I tell her, of course.
I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you. Well, I'd best be going back to work now. Well, it was a very nice meeting you, even if it was by accident.
Likewise.
Well, will you be staying long?
Oh, only for a few minutes. I'll have to call the agency and explain what happened. I mean, you never know, they might find me another date.
I'm sure the other chap will understand.
I hope so.
Well, goodbye then, Sandy.
Goodbye, Richard. Give Panther a stroke on your way out.
Panther?
My dog. He's waiting at the door for me.
You didn't mention him before.
I didn't get round to it.
Well, goodbye, Sandy.
Bye, Richard.
If you think you can walk away with that painting, you're sadly mistaken.
And you're mistaken if you think you can stop me.
I'll stop you, all right? Just you watch me.
I always get my way in the end, Max. You should know that by now.
And you should know you're beginning to make me angry.
Still prone to your little tantrums, are you? You should have grown out of those by now.
There'll be no more tantrums. I'll be standing up for myself, that's all. That picture is coming home with me, not you.
It is not.
I need my share of the money and I'm damn well going to get it.
Would you mind not showing me up in public like this? Sit down and control yourself.
When I sell it, I'll give you half of what I get, even though you don't need it, you grasping little witch.
No longer the grief-stricken Mr. Nice Guy, I see.
I've got a chance.
This stays with me.
I need that painting. You only want to boost your pathetic image in your snobby little village.
You're calling me pathetic.
I've never liked you.
I've never liked you either.
Sister from hell, that's you.
Do you remember smashing my doll's house to bits?
What?
I was only 9 years old at the time. But I've never forgotten. You broke my heart that day.
Good grief. We were just kids then. Well, I did it in an anger, or a tantrum if you like.
I've never forgotten. And I never will.
Eleanor, grow up.
This is payback time, Max.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Here, let me put you in the picture.
You maniac! Look what you've done!
If I can't have the painting, then neither can you.
You've destroyed an original Lowry! Thrown away thousands and thousands of pounds!
Sue me, if you dare.
I will sue you! You won't get away with this, you spiteful, arrogant cow!
Sandy! Sandy! Sandy!
Oh, I see you've met Panther.
Get him off! Get him off! He chased me down the street, the vicious brute! He's six mad!
He's just being affectionate, that's all.
Get him off! Get him off!
Shall I jug? Will I get a jug of gravy and throw it over it?
Panther, you're being very
try something. Those two couples have only gone off without paying. Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
That man over there looks ill. He's slumped over a half-eaten toastie.
I thought this might happen.
Maybe you should call an ambulance. It'd be bad publicity for you if he dies.
You've got a point. They're only round the corner. I'll get Gary to give them a call.
And while you're at it, ask him how the adult's getting on.
Right. Hey, pig features! You've only gone and killed someone. Go on, call an ambulance. And now wants to know where her fish is. Well, use the other ring then. Goodness me, I have to think of everything. He's going to call for an ambulance on his mobile. I don't like making emergency calls myself.
It's been a bit eventful in here today.
You can say that again.
It's been a bit eventful in here.
The Mood Cafe? Mandy? Is that you, Mandy? No, darling, stop all that sobbing. I can't understand a word you're saying. What was that? What's happened? Oh, no, darling. Oh, I can't believe you'd do such a thing. No, we must be together at a time like this. This is terrible. No, you come here, darling, you come here. Yes, we should share this experience. Oh, you poor thing. Come quickly now, won't you? I'll see you soon, my darling. See you soon. Yes! Result!
What's that all about then?
Mandy's only gone and called off the wedding.
Why's she done that?
It seems her fiance's only gone and bumped into one of his ex-girlfriends in these fancy jewellery shops and he's gone off with her.
So poor Mandy's been let down again, has she?
She's been pulled aside more times than a beaded curtain. But at least it means she'll be staying here and that's all I'm hoping for.
What's going on in there then?
I think there might have been a bit of a setback with your haddock. Now, how about a lovely bit of gammon?
Oh, I'm not keen on salmon.
I said gammon, not salmon.
I don't like that much either. Here, what are you going to turn the radio on about now?
Oh, I nearly forgot. Oh, come on, you blasted thing. It's not working now.
So remember, people in the mood know they'll get good food.
We've missed most of it now.
You've got a catchy slogan there. Mandy certainly has a way with words.
So people keep telling me.
Do you think Jerry heard it in there, Gary?
I don't think so. He's looking close to death in there, lying on the concrete floor.
So what are you going to do for him?
Nothing. It's the least I can do.
Well, let's hope there's room for two in the ambulance then.
Oh, that should be here soon. Why don't we listen to some music?
All right, turn it up again, Janie, then. Here, I could do with a bit of cheering up.
You and me both. You know, I've never known such a day. It's only temporary. Happens at least once a day.
Oh dear! Oh, I think I can smell cat pee.
Not in here, you can't. I keep this place spotless. Everyone knows how meticulous I am.
Oh, Jeannie, I don't think you're ridiculous. I think you're lovely.
Oh, thank you. I'm touched. And let's face it, I haven't been touched for years.